Welcome to Chemlight. Today we are going to be looking at what? We are going to be looking at what? The alcohols. And specifically we are going to be focusing on what? Primary, secondary and tertiary alcohols, and we are going to be looking into how to differentiate them, and we have a lot of things to talk about though, but let's start with this. This is the basics, okay?
Make
Now
sure
let's
to
go.
watch this video to
First
the
of
end so
all,
that
what's
you
an
don't miss
alcohol?
out on
An
any details.
alcohol is an organic compound which possesses what? The OH, the OH group called hydroxyl group in a what? Aliphatic carbon chain. It must be aliphatic. Like now, this one for example is an OH group, an hydroxyl group connected to a what? A aromatic carbon chain. We can't call this what? Alkanols. It is not a what? Alcohol. We can't call it an alcohol. It is what? It is known as what? Phenols. And this is just one of the phenols. We have a lot of phenols, but this is the main phenols. We are going to talk about phenols in the latter part of this video. Okay, so now stay tuned. Okay, there's something I want to bring to your notice. Looking at that compound there, the one in the bottom right, that cannot be classified under what? Primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol. Why? Why? It's because this guy here is not a monohydric alcohol. Now don't get confused, but just note it. Because it has more than one OH group present, it's no longer a monohydric. It's now called what? Polyhydric. Or perhaps you can be more specific to call it what? Triols. Okay, the way we have two OH group present in a aliphatic carbon chain, we call them what? Diols. So this guy is not among what we'll be talking about in this video, but we'll come to that. So now focus. Now, how do we know a primary, secondary and tertiary alcohol? It's simple. We can only classify alcohol under primary, secondary and tertiary when they belong to what? A monohydric alcohol. An alcohol containing only one hydroxyl group present. That is why I eliminated that guy. I also eliminated this guy because what? It has an aromatic carbon chain. So now we have come to this point where we now understand what primary, secondary and tertiary is. Now see how it goes. Between this and this, which of them is primary, secondary and tertiary that are all under what? Monohydric alcohols? It's simple. When there is a presence of one what? One alkyl group. Now I might be speaking gibberish to you. So now let me make you understand. First of all, in identifying any of the classes of the alcohols, we first do what? We isolate. What do I mean by isolate? We isolate this part. Okay, good. We isolate this part. After isolating the OH, the hydroxyl group connected to the main carbon, any other part is how we decide. Any other bond is how we decide. We still have what? 1, 2, 3 bond. Aside from the bond connecting the OH and the carbon, that is how we decide whether it's primary, secondary or tertiary. Now that's not all. If this bond, the other 3 bond, leads us to one carbon, like this guy now is a what? A what? Primary what? Alcohol, because it leads us to one carbon. An alkyl group must contain carbon, obviously. Like this one. This is an example of an alkyl group. This is an example of alkyl group. It leads us to one carbon. Aside from that, there is no other bond leading us to carbon. So obviously, we have this to be what? Our primary alcohol. We have this guy to be what? Our primary alcohol. Do we understand? This is an example of it. This is the molecular structure. This is the structure of a primary alcohol. Now looking down, it's obvious and very simple that we have what? 2 alkyl groups present in this compound. That makes it what? A secondary alcohol. It's very easy. An example of that is this compound right here. It has what? A what? Ethyl. It has an ethyl, an alkyl group called ethyl. This one is methyl. Okay, this is also methyl. Okay, so now it has 2 alkyl group in this compound. That is why it's classified under what? secondary, because after isolating the carbon bearing the OH, we have what? We have, from here we can count how many carbon from the major, for the major carbon bearing the OH, we can count the bonds leading us to carbon. One, this leads us to carbon, this leads us to another carbon, this doesn't lead us to carbon. Okay, that makes it what? Secondary alcohol. Now looking at this, it's obvious we already know what is this. Tertiary. It's tertiary. Looking at this, after isolating the carbon bearing the OH, we have what? It leads us to what? 1, 2, 3, 3 carbons. An example of that is this. After isolating, we have what? 1 carbon, another carbon, and another carbon. It's complete. That is how you identify what? A what? Tertiary alcohol. Okay? But wait, that's not all. There are things you have to know. This is just the structural what? Identification of this alcohol. But there is another way in which we can identify these alcohols. Chemically, we can actually identify them. Okay? So, there's something else I want you to note. Now, this one is, I just drew it simple. Other complex alcohols can be a primary alcohol, and it doesn't look small like this. That is, this alkyl group can be long as this guy. This guy is an alkyl group. Hope we know that. So we can also have something like this, very long alkyl group, even a branch alkyl group. It's possible. It's also a primary alcohol because what? It's only 1 carbon. It's only 1 carbon. After we isolate the OH, it's only 1 carbon that is connected to the main carbon. Do you understand? So now let's move over to what? The chemical way to identify what? Primary, secondary, and tertiary alcohols. Now, what do we have here? What is Lucas reagent? Lucas reagent is a way in which we can be able to what? Identify what? Primary, secondary, and tertiary alcohols. And now, how will we be able to identify them? It's a simple thing. Lucas reagent comprises of what? Zinc chloride in concentrated HCl. That's what makes up what? Lucas reagent. Now, how do we identify? First of all, before you even use this process, you have to confirm that this is number 1, an alcohol. Not only an alcohol, a monohydric alcohol, because dihydric and polyhydric, like this guy I cancelled out, it cannot function here. We can't test it. It doesn't work that way. The only way we have to confirm it's a monohydric and it's an alcohol. Then we can now use Lucas reagents to confirm if they are primary, secondary, or tertiary. How does it work? If it's a tertiary alcohol, we have a cloudiness, and not just a cloudiness, an instant cloudiness. Okay, so I'm going to write it here. A second. Okay, now we don't need this question marks anymore. If it's a tertiary alcohol, which is like this guy, this structure here, is going to give us what? An instant what? Cloudiness. Now, if it's a primary, it will take what? Few minutes. It will take what? Few minutes before that cloudiness occurs. But if it's a primary, my dear, no cloudiness. There is no cloudiness confirmed here. Alright? This, I believe, with this we have learned a lot of things in this video. We are going to take a few breaks. Note, this is the general formula for alcohols. I will talk more on that in the next. In fact, the next video is going to be explosive, going to be bomb. So make sure you check the next video. We are going to be talking more about the phenols, phenols, and types, classes, acidity, solubility, even nomenclature of alcohols. So thank you for watching. Make sure you click the subscribe button, give us a like, and if you have any question or there's something you missed, make sure you state that in the comment section. Thank you. Don't forget, there's always a sweet drop. Thank you.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, can I transfer you 10,000 naira now, or I should double it and give it to the next person?
Just give it to the next person.
Okay, I should give it to the next person. Oh, a kind-hearted man just offered for me to give it to the next person.
Please, sir.
Hi, be.
Please, sir.
No be you, I just see na for you.
Sir.
No be I just, now you na.
Bring him.
So make I send 20k.
Uh-huh.